Hello. Alright. Today we have a 9800X3D, 5080, and an ITX build. Excited to do this. I have never used this case before specifically. This is literally both of our first times seeing this in person. Just opened it up. We're not going to get right into the case right away. Hello, babe. Appreciate you playing the game. First, because it's an ITX build, we want to test the build outside of the case first. So, because it's going to be a pain. It's an ITX build. It's very small and cramped. But yeah. Hey Ryan, how you doing? Hey Roman. Oh Roman, I went ahead and checked out what you were talking about on the what's it called? The YouTube channel you built a PC for. I saw their video. The PC looks nice, man. And this build is RGB-less as well. That was one of the requests of the customer. He should be here in chat at some point. Hello. Hey, just right there. Wasn't paying attention. I'm gonna go ahead and yeah. So first, what I'm gonna start off with is I'm gonna do CPU, motherboard, RAM, and we're just gonna hold we're just gonna place a stock cooler on the CPU, and then just make sure everything boots up and everything, and then we'll get into actually building the PC. So that's how it's gonna go today. I'll box this, set this box aside for now. Set that right there. All right, let's get the motherboard. My only singular worry with this is that I had originally picked out the 600 series board when we picked out a 7800X3D and not a 9800X3D. So my only worry is that it will need a BIOS update, but I have a PC I can rob a CPU out of that has a 7600X in it if it comes down to it. So that's another reason we're testing outside of the box first. Is I don't know what BIOS version this is on and if it has the 9800X3D support out of the box. But yeah, like I said, I have a PC over there that I can rob the CPU out of to do a BIOS update. What'd you guys have to eat today? None of this is necessary at the very moment, because we're just testing. We'll use all that stuff later. I know what you had to eat, babe. I was there. Alright. Let's get that installed nice and safely. Oh. There we go. .32 gigs DDR5, 6,000 megahertz. Sticker. Yep. Just double checking. just click in place. Alright, we're going to take these brackets off real quick. These stock brackets will not be needed for the temporary stock cooler or the water cooler that's going in the build. Arctic cooler. I mentioned this cooler in the previous video, or previous live, where I was using the 360.
That's crazy.
Maybe we rob it. Parts. Oh, that's funny though. Hey, that's awesome to hear, Ryan. See, I told you it'd work out. Now you just got to build 7 to 9 more PCs, and bam, you got a part from everybody. What GPG end up getting? Yeah, I wasn't, Roman, I actually wasn't planning on using 9800 XDs. We had done the part selection and spec'd out a 7800 X3D and a 240, but then he wanted to upgrade. He wanted to upgrade CPU, so we went with a 280 and a 9800 X3D, but I already had purchased all of the other stuff. So honestly, we're just going to see how it goes. I don't think it's going to be an issue, to be honest. I really don't. But yeah. Hey, I see you in chat, man. I know, dude. You're going to love it. Yeah, it's going to be so compact. This is going to be very tight. So yeah, I don't know if you were in chat when I was talking about it, but my only 2 worries are possibly need a BIOS update, but that's okay because I can rob a CPU out of another computer to BIOS update it. And then clearance between this thick radiator and the GPU, but I purposely picked this GPU because 2 reasons. 1, it fit in budget, of course, and 2, this one was shorter in this dimension from the PCIe, or where is that? From the PCIe bracket up, it was shorter than the other one, and the radiator is going to be mounted above it. So yeah. Damn. But yep. Power supply was just whatever competent brand 850 watt that fit in budget, and was on the, power supply tier list. But yeah. Also got a good deal on this storage too. Very, very good storage. It was a combo discount deal with another part. I don't remember what it was. Alright, let's put these little clips in the motherboard box. And grab I'm going to grab one of the tall stock coolers, not the short ones, the little stealths. One of these thick ones. That should be enough to just keep it cool enough to check the BIOS and do a BIOS update without any issues. Let's get our jumbo thermal paste. Put a glob in the middle there. Alright, so we're going to use this to check if it boots or if we need to BIOS update. Obviously we'll BIOS update after it boots still, but I just want to make sure it boots and then just in general first, because it's going to be a pain to work on the build inside the case. But yeah. Also, I apologize if you hear my fan at all. It's Like 90 out in Florida today. That's miserable, and it's hot in my office. All right, we got that cooler on there. Hey, great timing. Nice, man. Well, if you hate the heat, don't come move to Florida. It's always hot. I don't know why I took out the M.2 right now. I don't need it at the moment. Kind of just did that by habit. It won't hurt anything to install it, so I'll just put it in now. I'm fairly certain with this case, you might actually be able to access. Does this have a back M.2? No, it does not have a back M.2. Okay, then no problem. Then we just got the one. Less than ideal, but not the end of the world. We will need the little M.2 screw in here, though. I'm just gonna set that on another box. Alright, we got the M.2 screw. We're gonna put this box in there for storage. This bag for this tiny little screw. The whole bag. Alright. 'Tis installed. Just grab a little tiny pouch right in. It's small as hell. Alright, so we're not gonna use the GPU right now. Molex. We will need CPU. Sorry, not gonna do that. Here's 24 pin. Alright. Alright, that's all we need for now. I'll put the rest back in here. I need my little wireless mouse and keyboard dongle. Where did you go? There you are. Put this little zip tie on it so I don't lose it easily. What was the cause of it not booting? Alright, we got CPU, motherboard, we got video out, we got keyboard and mouse in, monitor is plugged in and on. Alright, now we just short the power button, which is over here somewhere. Oh, power supply switch, that needs to be on. It's these two pins right here. Mouse is now, we don't panic if this doesn't boot. 2 reasons. AM5 does take a while sometimes, but I actually booted way faster than I thought it was gonna. No, that's just my HDMI. I don't mind that wiggling it. The red on the screen, my HDMI is a little wiggly sometimes. If I just wiggle it, usually that goes away. Whatever. That's not nothing. Just literally nothing to worry about. But awesome. All right, we're not gonna enable that right now. No boosting. Yes. Restart that. Next, restart and boots into the BIOS. I'm gonna go ahead and hook up the display port because the HDMI is a little meh. These wires get thrown around a lot. Oh damn. Alright, what do we got temp-wise? Oh, 38. We'll be fine to do BIOS update and stuff. I was worried temps are going to be a bit too high idling in the BIOS. Honestly, that's tremendously low for this cooler. For a 9800 X3D. Very surprised it's 37 right now. I mean, then again, it is doing almost nothing. Samsung drive is being recognized. Both sticks are recognized. We leave it at 4800. We do not enable XMP until after we've done BIOS update and after we've done Windows installs because we don't want any instability. So whenever we do BIOS updates and Windows installs, we always make sure temps are good, make sure there's no overheating issues, and there's maximum stability. So everything is low and as slow as possible. We have no issues during updates and installs. Let's go ahead and shut it down real quick, and I'm gonna see if that red shit goes away when I switch to DisplayPort. Yes, okay, it was just the HDMI causing the red shit on the screen, but yeah. Oh, trust me, I know the feeling. I have, you know those nets you put under your desk so you can just shove the cables in there and then push the net up against the bottom? So much easier than actually mending it. But I do have any of the long wires running along the bottom side of my desk with these things I showed you guys in the other stream. Let me get one out. These guys. You stick them to stuff and then you, well, you don't drop your zip tie. You run a zip tie through it and then wrap, and, you know, obviously it's tie down. So I have these stuck to the bottom of my desk. Just an IKEA desk. But it's 2 IKEA desktops that are like 7 foot each. One that way lengthwise and one this way lengthwise. That side over there is my work setup. This side is building and testing. I mean, do you see it all the time? Because if you don't, I mean, out of sight, out of mind. Off screen right here, I'm gonna hook up my USB, download the newest BIOS for this, and then bring it over to this computer, and we'll update it before installing it in the computer. I want to make sure it's on. Okay, so it looks like it's on F32 right now. I'll go see what the newest version is. Okay, let's see. Support. 2 workbenches from Harbor Freight. Alright. Looks like there is a couple new BIOS versions. None of them look like they're asking me to do subsequent installs. Looks like I can jump from 32 to 37 without any issues. At least that's what I'm reading right now. Yeah. I don't see anything in the descriptions that tell me you have to update to this version before the next one. So, yep. I'm going to go ahead and download the newest version. Extract it into the USB. Oof, sorry to hear that about your disc. Alright. USB is installed. What is... Oh, here it is. I was about to say, what is the button for Q flash on this one? Sure. Restart. Alright. It's going to go ahead and restart and BIOS update. So we are just going to hang out here for a minute while this BIOS updates. In the meantime, we can start unboxing some stuff. Let's open this stuff up. I use this same exact Zotac 5080 in the 9950 Extra D build. Same model. Hey Frankie, how you doing? I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but Nidal. How much? How much was this one? After the upgrades, just under 2,600. The 5050 is a waste of silicon at its current price. Technically, no GPU or no PC part really is. There's no such thing as a bad part unless I guess, it combusts and blows up and hurts you in some way. But there's no bad PC parts, just bad prices as far as the new parts go. So basically, if it was much cheaper, it would be fine. But it's a terrible value. It's only $50 less than a 5060, except it has like half of everything. But yeah, 150, I'd go for it. 200, it's passable. But 250 is just ludicrous for that GPU. You literally just pay $50 more and you get an insanely better deal with a 5060. Its existence was purely for just shareholders and meeting quotas for putting out new products. Look at that. But yeah, so you see how short this is compared to the PCIe bracket? That's what matters here. It's height. The other GPUs were taller, and the radiator is going to be mounted above it. So the less GPU height you have, the less cooler height you have for your water cooler. And we picked out a very thick water cooler. Oh, look, it's rebooting, finishing up. Let's do some more peels off of here. I'd say you'd be fine. You'd be fine for a bit. And then you can always upgrade the CPU later. If you're playing like esports games, you'll definitely see a bigger upgrade after upgrading your CPU later. But yeah. Just gonna let that do its thing. No idea why I did that, to be honest. I think if I just control delete and let it restart, it should be fine. Oh, okay. That's nice. Huge discounts are really nice. Oof. Yeah, a lot of the newer, like the 50... What is it? A lot of newer 50 series. They're not like... Okay. Wow. Okay, now I'm saying 50 series is the other way around. But I mean, the tier of 50. Like 50, 50, 50, 60, 50, 70. The 50 is... fast forward a live stream. Shit, if I could fast forward real life, this BIOS update would have been instant, and this computer would have been put together instantly. Dude, I'd make billions if I could fast forward PC builds. Oh, that would be great. Yep, looks good. Alright, let's go ahead and shut this down. We're on the newest BIOS now. Everything's recognized, the RAM's recognized, CPU, the storage. The GPU is literally brand new. I highly doubt there's going to be any issues there. Yeah. Let's get to assembling the case. We'll go ahead and take this stuff down. Set this aside. Back in this box. Hang out in there. Those short power button pins here. Alright, let's shut down. Go ahead and move all this. Alright, let's inspect the case. A lot of word of mouth I get a lot of 5 stars. Actually, all I get is 5-star reviews. I try my best to keep it that way. So mostly a lot of my work kind of speaks for itself. And I post on social media on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitch, etc. I just recently started Twitch and YouTube live stream and stuff like that. But yeah, I have considered doing Java. I've looked into it a little. I don't know. It's just shipping computers through Java, Facebook, OfferUp, eBay. They all have like 12 to 15% or whatever, like fees. And when you sell a PC for 1,000, all of my profits getting eaten up by their fees. I'm just not gonna make money off of that. You know what I mean? But yeah, I appreciate that, man. I try my best to be. I love the front of this grill. It's not just flat. You see the gradient to it? It's got these like... Here, let me use the second camera to show you up close. Oh, the cap's on. Let me see if I can show you. It's not flat. Oh, you see the grooves? And then there's other areas like this where they have like, yeah, like that. It's nice. I mean, as long as it powers your parts and doesn't give you any issues, a motherboard's a motherboard. It does what you need it to. Hey, appreciate the follow. Alright, it's an extra 100 for watching. I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, the 8600G or the 7500F, both great like entry-level CPUs getting into AM5. And I'd say get them on AliExpress. You can get them for well under 100, and they're from like 80 to 90 bucks for those CPUs. Great like entry-level getting into AM5. Exactly, yeah. It's a great way to get yourself into the new platform. And you'd be surprised how much performance you can squeeze out of that. Alright, let's start getting some parts out here. This case is very modular, so I don't know the exact orientation we're going to do yet. I watched a video on it, and it has a lot of mounting points. So we're just going to wing it a little here. Hey, Respected, how you been, man? Good to see you in chat again. Love to see my regulars. Always appreciate you guys coming around. Oh, I corrected the title. It shouldn't. It should have updated from 9950 to the other build I did. Was I just reused the same title and accidentally forgot to change it. It should be updated now. It's a 9800X 3D build. Now we got a top or the side here. We have a side panel here. There's a lot of parts here. Another side panel. The extendo cable for the power supply. We got a top. I think, or a bottom. I think they might be modular. No, I think the bottom has specific holes for it. I'm not entirely sure. Oh, it didn't update on YouTube side? Oops, my bad. I'm not restarting stream now. It's just the CPU change. It's fine. It's the same CPU, but half of it. There you go. The 9950X 3D is a 9800X 3D plus a 9800 non-3D with a bridge between them. And there's CCD1, CCD2. And there's actually a turbo setting in the BIOS of the board here that when you turn it on while you game, it'll turn off the second CCD that doesn't have X3D chips. You don't have to turn that setting on, it's optional. But when you get this and you do want to turn it on, you can. Also, my boxes are leaning a little bit. Believe it or not, these are not glued in place. This is just Tetris. These are all friction fit in place. Oh, and also here's the other Zotac 5080 box. Put it on the wall. Took the place of like a 3070 or something that was over there last time. Right, let's get some more of these parts out of here. Alright, that's all the parts out. Oh, let's get the foam back in there. Can you open? What's that? Oh, that's the power supply bracket. Fell down. Let me make sure there's no other little pieces in here. No, we're good. Alright, box is set aside. Now I gotta figure out the layout here. Alright, so as far as top and bottom, that's very clear. The bottom, those are tiny feet, by the way. If you want this raised up at all, you could definitely just 3D print some extra feet, like custom height feet. It's just a single screw holding a bit of rubber in. So I do have a 3D printer up there on that shelf. Very fancy one. Love that thing. Alright, so we're going to start with the base here. This is the motherboard tray. This goes here, and this goes on the back. And it can flip around a bunch of different ways. So we're gonna have to play with the layout here and see how we end up with this in the end. It did not come with a riser cable. To be honest, I thought it would. That's unfortunate. But I do have some in my stock. For $270, I honestly just kind of thought it would have came with one. But I have some in my stock. I'm sure I can make it work. Yeah. Let's grab the board. Oh, so many different ways this can mount. Okay, so this is going to be where the I/O is on the back. You can do it upside down, we can do it right side up. You boo. We do it right side up. How much bracket do we have for the GPU? Let's check that right now. And that's a triple slot. So I want to make sure that get that cable out of the way. Okay, so a triple slot's gonna fit if we do normal orientation. on the board. I'm going to take these plugs out. Sorry, it's hard to grab little things with gloves on. These may end up coming off at some point because this ITX build is going to be tight. Okay, so set this aside. Set the motherboard right there. Set the GPU in its slot. Oh, it might help if I remove that. Okay, that does fit. Nice, dude. Yeah, it's gonna look real nice when it's done. So, oh man, this is the fun. It's so fun, slow part where I've got to plan out the orientation of everything's gonna install. So I'm thinking probably like this. There's 3 orientations you can flip things. You can actually put the motherboard upside down and mount the GPU on the top with the motherboard flipped around. And then, yeah, so that's the best GPU temps. But we want really good CPU temps. This GPU is going to be cooling just fine. If we do it horizontal, if we do it like this orientation, there's not going to be a ton of room for airflow. There is, I think there's going to be enough. May have to go vertical mount. I do have, let me go grab the vertical mounts real quick that I have on stock. Okay. They're over here. Alright, I got my vertical mounts. I do not know what PCIe gen these are, to be honest. That's going to be a small issue. Hey, appreciate the follow. Alright, let's see. Does it tell me anywhere on these PCIe slots where the generation this is? Because we need at least like, what, Gen 4 probably? For a 5080 to fully saturate it. We'll also have to change that in the BIOS before we build the PC. Just says X16, like, no shit. This one's 4.0, but it's a bit long. It's the longest. Let me see if the shorter one tells me on here somewhere. Because there's like no labeling. It looks like it might be under this. So I'm gonna take this off real quick. Oh, it is very much overly complicated. Let's see here. At the very least, I don't have to deal with RGB. I mean, the GPU is going to have a little bit of lighting on it, but we can just turn it off. Alright, what we're going to do right now is we're going to take this bracket off and read the PCB behind it and see what generation is. Harold, actually some do. This one says it right here. PCIe generation 4.0. Some of them do. Yeah, I do want to plug it into it directly. But here's the thing. It's ITX, and the bottom of the power supply, not power supply, the bottom of the case is right here. Oh, you can't see that. That's my bad. The bottom of the case is right here, and the extent of the feet is that much height. So that's the amount of intake air you're going to get. It's just going to be through the side panel here. So, I mean, I think it will. Yeah, Gen 5 Ryzen card, I've very much heard of issues with Gen 5 Ryzen cards. So 4.0 would be just fine. I just have to change it in the BIOS. Unless, this one might just be Gen 4, to be honest. I've got to check. These are all the weird fun quirks about ITX. Honestly, I think it's going to be just fine. This orientation. Yeah, you can rotate everything. There's a bunch of micro adjustments you can do. But I chose the smallest 5080 that would fit in budget. I already had one. I love you. I had a Mountain Dew. My bad. I was talking to my wife. So, but yeah, I chose the smallest 5080 I could, so that it would have airflow around it, basically. Let's see here. Riley, what are you doing, bud? What are you doing up there? You do that on yourself? Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and check the diagram of all this mounts real fast here. Okay, we're gonna have to use a, what's it called? Riser cable. I just looked it up. Like, there is water cooling. It's right there. And yes, it's getting installed, and this is gonna be vertically mounted. Yeah, we're gonna go vertically mounted. So let's set these pieces down. Because vertically mounted is the only orientation that allows for a water cooler. This has to be slid down to the bottommost holes, and then the water cooler will clear up here. If you were here earlier, this was just temporary to install a BIOS update. Yeah, water cooling a 30 or 5080 for 3000 just wouldn't fit in budget. That would not fit. Water cooling a whole system is very expensive. Completely outside of labor, just parts alone. Just the CPU block and the pump, without the radiator, fans, tubes, fittings, reservoir, etc., would cost more than the AIO. That definitely would not fit in a $3,000 budget. Not at all. You'd have to be really, really penny pinching. and then build it yourself. There is, but it's extremely difficult. If you watch, what's his name on YouTube? I had him up just a minute ago. Oh, Optimum. If you watch Optimum, he has done a water-cooled build in it. It's just miserably tight spacing. And he had to mount parts exterior, like on the exterior of the case, using I need to get my using the holes on the case. You had to run the tubing out of the case and put the pump reservoir on the outside. There's like no room for water cooling. This case is very small. Yeah, no, I'm honestly, anyone who's getting ITX, I don't think is gonna want to see parts on the outside of the case. Although they do allow it, like support-wise, for you to do it. Yeah, so for water cooling, we're gonna have to mount to the lowest point for the motherboard and shift the water cooler to the top. Reason being, the water cooler would collide with the RAM and heat sinks on the board. So we have to slide it down, and water cooler will be right up against the edge here, like side to side, filling the whole space. Hi. Sorry, the puppies are the puppies are wanting attention. They're all over me. Hi, babies. Hey, babe. Can you come get the dogs? They're very cute, but they're a bit distracting. Sorry, my puppies, they're all over me right now. No, I already said that it's going to be vertically mounted. I don't think Malik's very good at listening. Alright. I'm assuming we've got standoffs in here. Yes, we do. Alright. Yep. Yes. Just like we had spoken about when we were looking at the Optimum video together, when you came by. I'm speaking to the owner of the computer, not whoever else in the chat. When we were looking at the video from Optimum, he had his board shifted down, and then he had it vertically mounted. This is the bottom, using the holes down here. These holes are really close to each other. It's probably not going to use these holes, to be honest. It's going to use different holes. But, and, okay, I don't, whatever. Yes, you'll be able to see the GPU fans from the side. It'll be mounted like this. This is vertical mounted. Yeah. Yeah, ITX, you don't get to go, oh, I want everything perfect. It's what will work. We're cramming a lot of hardware into a very small space, and not everything is going to be the maximum, most optimal, perfect min-max possible. Although this case does min-max what you have available to you. So with all this adjustability, you get to decide what hardware you want to use. I don't think Malik's understanding. The GPU will be on the side, Malik. If on its side, no. Because that would not cool as well. It would have to pull air off of nothing. Also, the customer likes this case. He chose this case. He wants this case. He's gonna get this case. If these feet were larger, that would be nice. By the way, I can 3D print you larger feet. If you do start having some sort of temperature issues in the future, let me know. We can swap these out. Hey, appreciate the subscription. You're my first subscriber. Yeah, it's literally just held in with a single screw. I need to start, I'm gonna have my wife figure out how to do shoutouts, because I've only been doing this for like a month, so I don't know how to do that yet, but yeah. Sorry, I'm like on 8 different conversations at once. My head's rambling. Okay, let's get the standoffs installed here on the most optimal way that we can install this for this situation. A 9800X3D deserves a good cooler, and that means we have to vertically mount the GPU. The GPU will be just fine vertically mounted. Hell yeah. You get, Dave, you're gonna have to help me figure out how to set that up for people that, like, the first subscriber. I want a little badge for him in chat. Yeah, this build's way more interesting than just pick the highest end thing possible. Alright, let's start getting some hardware out here. Oh, that's an interesting way to do it. So, instead of the normal standoffs, I'll be honest with you, I'm probably going to take my gloves off because these are so damn small. So normal standoffs, I'll grab one. They have the... I need to focus. Focus, please. Focus. The autofocus is not amazing on this camera. The resolution is, but it has the threads built into it, right? Well, the method they used in here so that you can move things around kind of freely seems to be a long open nut and screw combo. If I don't start dropping things. Alright, Riley, I love you, baby. You gotta chill out. Okay, I dropped it, but I found it. There's plenty of extras too. I love you. Hop down, baby. Go play. My puppy's being a big old attention hog right now. Alright, so we need to find out exact layout here. I think I have this flipped. Let me double check the video, or the photo here. Yeah, I'm also assuming you mean a 2060, and pretty much in what the, oh, you mean an actual GTX 260. I have seen one of those. I have a couple extremely old GPUs, just for shits and giggles on hand. I might actually have one of those. I had a GT 8800, or yeah, GT 8800, I think. Very old GPU. Give me just a moment, you guys. Also, no, GTX 260 is definitely PCIe, not PCI. I was thinking it might have been a PCIe, or PCI. I am honestly just gonna click on Optimum's video of his builds and just real quick look at a photo of it sitting in the case. Okay, we do not want it up top, we want it lower. That's the other orientation. No, that's the GPU one. You guys can't see what I'm saying. Yeah, Roman, I said thank you, babe. I'm saying, what I was saying is I want to get him I want to get a badge set up so that I can have something for my first ever sub. Oh yeah, even for, but Harold, even for 2016, yeah, definitely. Would also definitely. Pretty much anything would. I mean, unless technically you're only doing CPU intensive tasks and the GPU is just the video out thing. Yeah, I definitely noticed, and I very much appreciate it. When this stream's over, I'm going to have my wife help me figure out how to do the little badges for the subscriptions. And I want to know if there is an option to set up, like, first subscriber. That'd be cool. I'd show you guys what I'm looking at right now, but I actually don't know how to do that in OBS just yet. I'll figure it out next time. I'm scheming through the video of how he built his, because I'm going with the same orientation as he did for his build. Is it not notifying me of things? Wait, how many did he sub? Just a one? Was that 1 or 5? Sorry guys, I'm still new to this. I'm lost. Regardless if it was 1/2 of a sub. Now I see. I don't. Sorry, I don't even know where to look. Either way, I am immensely grateful. Oh yeah, and when you're at 4K, there's almost no difference. Oh, you subbed and give it only literally okay. My stream thing, the preview, my OVS on the other screen over there, only showed the sub. I didn't even see the gifted. Who got gifted? Hell yeah, man! I appreciate that. Oh, it did give him the badge automatically. Well deserved. That badge is well deserved. I can't figure out how to point to what I'm trying to point at. Right there. Well deserved. You, sir, can screenshot that. I appreciate all of my regulars, subbed or not. Like, I'm excited seeing you guys in chat whenever you guys come around. I really am. You guys are awesome. Yes, I'm still learning. Please bear with me. I'm still figuring this thing out as I go along. I know how to build the computers. I don't know how to run a perfect Twitch live stream. Yeah, also I'm going to have my wife show me how to show you guys what I'm looking at right now. Because I'm skimming a video right now, figuring out where the placement of everything goes. Because this case has a lot of different orientations, and there's no like set, you have to put it in this spot. I just want to show this. I don't want to show all my tabs.
I already did that.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
How does that work?
Let's see.
No.
Oh, hold on.
That looks weird. Wait a minute, y'all. What the? Sure.
What the hell?
That works. Not really, but this is only temporary.
We're getting there. I don't know why it's so big.
I don't know why it's so big either, or the wrong resolution. It's the wrong resolution.
Did I do it right now?
No.
Oh well.
Oh well.
That's what we're working with right this moment.
Hey! Appreciate the bits, man. Glad to see you got one of the gifted subs. My wife is currently helping me figure out the browser thing, so I can show you guys what I'm looking at the moment. Alright, so it's showing this. I'll just put it on here. It's fine. It's showing this screen, and I'll just put it on this. It's because the resolution of this monitor is wrong.
Oh,
but that's all my tabs. Oh, is it just the one? She figured it out. They can see all the adjustments. Close enough. Leave the little black bar at the bottom. We'll live. No, good enough. That's good enough. I got it, babe. I just want to get back to the stream. Live ended on TikTok. Why? Oh well, TikTok can fuck off. Yeah. Okay. So I can switch between this and this now and show you what I was looking at. So this is what I was looking at. I was looking at this video, skimming it to see where he put things for his build, because I decided to go with the same layout he did. So we're gonna go back to main, and I'm gonna put this on whenever I'm showing you specific things. Let me go to the video myself. Okay. The hell did he put that in? Yeah, that's the way he put it, like that. Why does this look different from mine? Y'all, I'm very confused at the moment. You have to bear with me for a second. Upside down. That's gotta be what it is. That's the only thing that would make any sense. That's only 2 holes mounting up. What am I looking at here? Yes, it is mini ITX, and it is. It has a lot of different orientations for the hardware. So you can put the motherboard in 3 different spots, and honestly, I'm trying to figure out where the spot is for the left drop-down mounted spot, because that's where we have to go for 1, vertical GPU, 2, we want radiator to top, and power supply to the right. There's another orientation where the motherboard's upside down, and like this, and the GPU goes across the top, and then you use an air cooler. I don't know. There's weird orientations, and at the moment, temporarily struggling to figure out where the holes line up for bottom left corner mounting. And some of my lovely viewers in here have just recently subbed. We love you guys. I don't know why I'm so lost right now, to be honest, considering none of these holes are lining up. And there was no paper at all in the box. It was just like, figure it out. So I'm just watching a YouTube video. I can get it back on the screen here. This video, you can see it with me. So we've got that's just not the same bracket that I have, to be honest. Am I holding the wrong one? No, he just has a completely different mounting than I do. That's why I'm so confused. That's just not this. Oh, you guys can't see what I'm doing. So you guys saw the browser I was just looking at. That is not this. Spec is the 9800X 3D, 5080, 2TB Samsung drive, 32 gigs DDR5, 850 watt power supply, and that water cooler if stuff would stop falling over. I apologize for me fumbling around right now. I'm just a little confused. This is not the same backplate. Yeah, no, it's the M2. The M3 supports micro ATX. This is ITX only. He wanted the very small one. This should not be this hard. Okay, I'm understanding now. So there's these little one sec, I gotta see what you guys are looking at right now. Alright. There's these little holes. You see the recessed holes? Those are for the screws and washers to sit in. So that must mean the standoff's go on this side. Motherboard has to go on the side. There's just so many mounting holes over here that I assumed it would mount over here. I have never been this lost building a PC in my entire life. Why is there seriously no paperwork in this? I've never used a manual before, but now I need one. The one time I need a manual, it doesn't have one. No, I have not. Let me look that case up. No, you're fine. It's not your fault. I thought for 270 this was gonna come with one, a riser cable, and two was gonna come with instructions. It came with neither. Oh, that is a cool case, Roman. I like that. I like that case. Okay, so here's the thing. The video of him you know, yeah, you're right. I can't download a manual online. Let's do that real quick. Hello. How are you? User manual. Oh, there's 3D files. 3D print stuff on this. Flat pack assembly. Oh, there's a damn YouTube video. That would have been nice to find earlier. I'm gonna mute it though. 32 gigs, two 16 gig sticks right here, DDR5, 6,000 megahertz. No, he's not the pain in the case is. Although he did pick it out. No, I'm just playing. Okay, I'm not worried about the power supply. Okay, yeah, that is way different from what he was using in his video. So this way, with this here, here, there. So that's the orientation. Okay, we need topmost, top, and then top. So topmost of these four rows here is what we need for this motherboard orientation we decided on. Let me find a different screwdriver size. Probably this one. Yep, that works. Let's get an. All right, we need the flat sunk screw. Okay, yeah, there are no flats. It's got to be this one. Nope, those are all tapered. Where are the flat sunk ones? These ones. There are so many screws in here, it's not even funny. Like 60,000 orientations. Alright, flat sunk, no tapered. Yes, it has been quite an interesting build so far. Sorry for all the off-screen figuring out what the hell I'm doing. This is quite an interesting build. I'll be honest with you, it's really hard to pick up tiny things with these gloves on. I might have to ditch them soon. Honestly, that Sausenhu? I hope that's how you pronounce it. That depends on a couple different things: your case size, your budget, and when you want to upgrade next. In a way, like, because if you want to jump onto AM5, I'd jump to 7500F or 8400G or 8400 with like a B650M, and yeah. Hey, where's the puppy? Puppy break. Give puppies.
I think he could just sit on the chair.
Okay. Bring me puppies. Cooper, come. Come, up. Can you jump in the chair? Oh, sit. I gotta see the preview. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm gonna show you puppy. Okay, guys, it's puppy time. Oh.
You gotta change your gloves after this.
Yep. Puppy time. One more.
Good boy.
Here you go, baby. Good puppy. Alright. Glove change time.
Oh.
Alright. I gotta wash my hands real quick because I took my gloves off. Okay. Yeah, there's some really small parts in here, so I'm gonna have to go gloveless for a little bit. Just some really tiny screws. Yes, Koopy's a very adorable puppy. Alright, so go with the flat. Not really good angle to show you guys this. There we go. We're going to be doing that a couple times. And one more. Okay. Finally figured that out. Probably should have just went to the installation video in the very first place. Just didn't realize there was one. Oh, I also, at the same time, just remembered that's not even orientation we're going with. We're going with the very bottom-most orientation. I was just following the instructions on the video, but that does not include the orientation we're going with. So we're going to move all of these screws down. GT3 RS. No, I don't think it's going to be a Porsche. But I feel like I'm building one. That's for sure. Okay. We moved those. Oh, 3 of 4. 3 out of 4 we moved. One more. Alright. What's funny is the PC build itself will be 10 times faster than the case installation, or like just building the case. Oh yeah, for sure. What screws are for the motherboard? Technically, there will be RGB on the GPU. It will just be turned off. So technically, you turn. It's like a tune. You can turn on and off your horsepower. I turn the RGB on and off. Okay. It looks like we're just using the same screws we used to mount the back of the standoffs as the front standoffs. That's what it looks like to me. This is quite an interesting mounting method. That's the only way you can fit a 280 in the build is if you do it mounted like this. And we want the maximum, like, reasonable cooling capacity you can fit into it. So 280 was the most we could squeeze. Hey, what are you two doing? Come here. Come here. One second, my dog's being crazy. In one moment. Grab grab something random? Can you figure out what he grabbed? It looked important. Thank you. Sorry, had to have the wife grab the dog food. Grabbed something at random and ran off with it, and I don't know what it was. Love having a puppy. He's such a good boy. He's a little menace. Love him. Love him so much. He's such a menace. Okay, so the motherboard tray mounts like this. Okay. So that is the bottommost mounting option for the motherboard. That is such a weird way to mount it because there's just gonna be a bunch of open like space in the back here. I hope there's some sort of cover on the back. It's a bit weird like that. Let's get other stuff mounted. Let's get the power supply mounted. Alright, we're jumping back over to... I'm going to show you guys the installation video I'm looking at. Because the customer wanted so small. And the customer always gets what the customer wants. This is custom built. So, I don't know what else to say. Alright. Where are the other screws? Pretty sure these are the mounting screws. Nope, wrong ones. We'll figure it out eventually. Should just be the normal mounting screws for a power supply, right? They're in here. Let's get these screws installed on here. We're installing that bracket you just saw right here. Oh yeah, they can be quite frustrating while building, but it is going to come out very nice at the end. Installing the bracket right now, and then this mounts in some sort of way along there somewhere. We gotta get the other screws in there. Also, the power supply I picked specifically has the 12-volt high power connector right on it, so no adapters are going to be used in this build. Yeah, it's not a very common build type, I guess you could say. Is ITX no RGB but it's not their PC. So what does it matter? Let's get the 12-volt high power plug plugged in here. We do not need SATA, we don't need Molex, we don't need PCIe. We only need these 3 cables. So cable management is going to be very tight and very easy for the most part. There are other wires, like front panel stuff, power button and whatnot. I think that's actually might be all. Yeah, the actual building part is going to be a lot easier than putting the case together. How the hell did they mount this? Oh god, could you imagine asking every day? Dude, I have seen like on Zach's Tech Turf and everything. People like day 352 for asking for a free PC. Oh my god, could you imagine? What does that come out to? Like 10.2 years? Yeah. The thing is, honestly, a lot of times with ITX builds, what it ends up happening is a lot of people ask me, not even a lot, just some people ask me for an ITX build. Then they learn about the ITX tax, where ITX power supplies cost more, the cases cost more. The boards have fairly come down to reasonable pricing. And then you have to factor in, what's it called? I had another thing I was going to say, and I can't even remember it. Yeah, basically just the ITX tax and making everything fit. And then they usually just go, alright, just go micro ATX as small as you can make it, and it saves a couple $100. Because, like, if I want micro ATX case, I could have saved $200 on the case alone. But this is the case he wants. This is the case he's going to get. Because that's what custom is. I really do like this though. This like, the machining on this is really nice. Also, I laughed when it said it was shipping from China, and I was expecting it to be like some place in, like, I don't know, like Arizona or something. I mean, yeah, you do need to upgrade it, but if you're gonna play it 4K, the 5700G is not gonna hold you back as much as you think. If you're gonna play it at low resolution, your CPU is gonna massively hold you back. Alright, let's jump back to the video real quick. I'm gonna distract again. Use your own power supply screws. Damn. Okay. We're going to be mounting it differently. I'm actually going to jump over to the optimum video. Where's the... How does he put his in? Because he was talking about using literally this exact cooler that we're using. And how there might be radiator clearance issues with the thickness here. Can you guys see my mouse on the screen? I don't actually know. Whatever. You can see the radiator. He was worried about how thick it was. Alright, he mounted his down here. So that's what we're going to end up doing. So, board here, water cooler up here, power supply right here. The cables and everything on the power supply that's in this build for the power supply and the water cooler are both going to be better cable managed in his build, just because I picked the parts out after learning after his mistakes. Okay, yeah, he mounted to. Yeah, that's how we're gonna have it mounted. I'm gonna pause it there for a second, and then I'm gonna switch it to the main camera, and I'm gonna look at that while I do this. Okay, so he has his power supply flipped the other way. We're gonna go ahead and do that as well. Okay, what we're doing right now is we're facing the power supply towards the back of the case to pull in fresh air instead of pulling in the hot air from the back of the GPU. Because otherwise this is going to line up like this and it's going to blast hot air straight into the power supply. Okay, we got the bracket off. I'm going to flip it around this way. We're going to throw it like this. Yep, that's what we're going to do. Alright. Knew this stream was going to be a longer one, that's for sure. There we go. The Cooler Master one or the Corsair one was from the video? Okay. So we're going to flip this around. We're going to mount it this way. And then... Oh, the Cooler Master one. Nice. Hey, appreciate the lure, Killer. Okay, looking at the video, how he mounted his, we're going to flip this over and we're going to check the mounting holes here. The bottommost of... Yeah, they have revised this mounting since he did his video. So I keep getting tripped out by the mounting holes because they aren't like the line, like things are not lining up the same way they are in the video because it's not the same. If that makes any sense. I just need 2 of these holes to line up at the same time. They kind of aren't though. That's the thing. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's gonna be really nice when it's done. It's actually gonna look even nicer than some of the builds I've seen online. Because again, not because I'm so amazing, but because I learned from their mistakes on how they decided to pick out parts, and I went ahead and picked out the parts they said they would have picked out, basically. Yeah, again, these holes aren't lining up. I might have to give you guys a close-up of this. Yeah, I'm going to give you guys a close-up of this, what I'm seeing right now. Hey, appreciate the congratulations. Yes. I honestly didn't even know myself. I learned today when I got a sub that I could get subs. Okay, I'm gonna pop up the second camera for you guys right now. Oh, the camera cap is on. Okay, so these holes here, if you look at these holes across the top, right? These 3 holes line up slightly to the left and slightly to the right of these holes. Let me try to get you a really good shot of this. Okay. So whenever I line these up, I can only get 2 at a time. I'm probably 2 is fine, but I can only get 2 of them to line up at the same time. You see this hole? There's one right behind here, here, and here. But this one's slightly off, so if I slide it over, these 2 line up. If I slide it over again, these 2 line up. I'm just going to mount with these 2, and then I'm sure that'll be plenty. Well, this bracket is a completely different type of bracket. So this bracket has, like, it mounts to the top and then has side mounted holes. The mount that comes with the power supply does not have like side mounted holes. It's just for the flat side. So it would be like just this without these holes, and these holes mount to the case. Okay, so I'm pretty sure using just these 2 holes here mounted to just these 2 will be plenty, especially since how small the power supply is. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a problem. Let me try out the second camera, get this out of the way, and I'm going to install that power supply. So we're going to go ahead and install it like this. Let's get the big screwdriver out of the way. Those are not the right size screws. Maybe these are. Yep. That's the right size screw. Okay, honestly, just after putting one of those in, 2 is going to be plenty. Okay, different length screw. I need a different length screw. I need a shorter one because it's hitting the power supply. Okay. Okay, there we go. Yeah. So that's how that's going to be in there. Hey, appreciate the follow. So this will give us clearance for the radiator, and it'll give us clearance for the cables to bend up like this without being too tight. So that bend radius is a clean bend radius. It's not too tight and it's not like wasted space too. Because we're gonna have the GPU mounted vertically right here. And these cables are gonna come up and over like this to clear the GPU. Let's go ahead and get the mounting brackets for the motherboard. All of your extra cables, by the way, and accessories will be in the power supply and motherboard box. You'll get these with the computer. All your brackets and etc., all the screws, anything extra that you could need to use and move stuff around in the future will be in these boxes here. And yeah, also we'll need one of these brackets. Honestly, just work hard at it, and whenever you sell your pre-builts, get business cards. Because when you sell your pre-builts, right, you can hand out business cards, and that will give you just word of mouth, and it'll get other people interested. And if you ship them, throw a card in there. I have custom stickers made that I include with my computers. You don't have to put it on your computer, but I put it in the accessories. And if you stick it on your case, and their friend sees their computer and is like, "Oh, where'd you get that?" And then they'll just see the sticker. So yeah, just advertising. This is a form of advertising. Hey, how you doing, Brock? Good to see you. This is the ITX build I was talking about on the weekend. It's one I said I was going to be doing on Monday. It's this one. Staying hydrated with the LCT bottle. I need to add the hydration button. I just became affiliated, I think is what it's called. Honestly, so new to this. Sorry. So new to Twitch. Only streamed a handful of times. But yeah. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm actually just going to pre-plug this stuff in. Is this case really just a power button? There's no I/O. So I don't have to worry about any I/O cables. No I/O here. No I/O there. I/O anywhere. Perfect. It's just a power button. It's less cable managing for me. Cool. We're going to snip the twist tie because we don't do twist ties. We only do zip ties. I'm going to pre-cable manage, if that makes sense. So I'm going to pre-run some wires and zip tie them down while I still have the frame open so that I can get everything where I want it to be. Because once the water cooler's in here, it's going to be blocked. Oh, this is the this one's not a 9950X3D. So on Twitch and TikTok, it let me change the title, but YouTube don't actually know how to change title. This one's a 9800X3D, and the same 5080 as the 9950X3D build. Basically the same setup, but half of the CPU. It's literally just CCD1 from the... I mean, you know, you work there. Okay, what I'm doing right now is I'm pre-running cables. Because once this is... I think I already said this, but basically, once this is installed, there's going to be a water cooler blocking everything up here. So I want to pre-run anything I can now and cable manage that. Because once it's in the case, it's going to be a pain to fish these cables around. Set that aside, put them down gently. And this is an anti-static desk mat, by the way. 5080 Zotac. It's that one right there. Mat right there. Zotac 5080. The exact model, I don't know. The Zotac Gaming Solid Core. Okay. It's one of the MSRP models. But the Asus Prime one was as well, but it was large. Like, it had a bunch of extra plastic that made it huge for no reason. And this is like just nicer looking, and it's a tight build altogether, and smaller. Yeah, it is. I noticed that in the build. It's the same one I used in the 9950X3D. It's a great 5080. This is an MSRP model. Like, how is this an MSRP model? You would think just like an all black, super basic cooler. But Zotac makes some nice MSRP models. It's nice. It's gonna be set aside for now. But yeah, these cables are also shorter than some of the other ITX cables, and I like that because it's gonna make managing this way easier. Sorry I'm in the way a little here. I'm just zip tying wires. Dude, Roman, it's so cool seeing the little first next to your name there. I really appreciate it, by the way. Oh, Harley, baby, you can't be up here right now. Harley was trying to make a guest appearance. Alright. Yeah, again, pre-cable managing. So all these wires are going to be nice and tightly packed. Look at that. I wish the closest, dude, I live in Florida. Florida is so big that you can live 10 hours apart and still not reach each other in Florida. You could literally be 10 hours apart in Florida. So the closest one to me is in Miami, and it's like 4.5 hours away. Also, thanks for the reminder, babe. I'll switch mics out now. I have the other one on the charger. Alright, mic's on. Yeah, so I have these little lavalier mics, and I bought a 2-pack, and they sync up to the same little dongle. And one always dies within like 2 to 3 hours. So I have to put one on charge and grab the other one. Luckily I have two, so I can keep switching between them. Also, we need to get the cooler mounting out. Yeah, no, I wish it was 60 miles. I think mine's like 400 miles or something. Which is crazy. Let me look real quick. Micro center near me. Maps. Maps says 4.5 hours. Yep. 300 miles. Yeah, 5 times as far. Yeah, I do forget. I think it's actually been dying more, closer to 3 to 4 hours. But I would like to swap it out around the 2-hour mark, just to make sure it never dies. Because sometimes it'll just, well, actually most of the time, it'll just die while in the middle of talking. It'll go quiet and everyone will be like, I can't hear you. Like, oh, damn it, I forgot. Let me switch back over to my preview. I will take a little break probably at some point, just to microwave some pizza. Because I'm running on one meal today. It's going on 9 p.m. So, yeah, we'll need food at some point. Maybe I can do a little sit down. I can just eat some pizza and answer some like tech questions if you guys got any. Dude, the bundle deals are great. Where it's on stream. Oh, Dave, can you feed Harley? He's hovering. He's kind of begging for food. He's gonna start getting mean soon if I don't feed him. Oh, he's a super sweet cat until it's been too long since he's eaten. And then he starts attacking your legs until you give him food. Yes, he's obsessed with his wet food. So let's put that there. You're gonna need this bracket. I've used this cooler so many times, I know exactly what I need. So I need that bracket, I need that bracket. I do not need that because that's optional. I need that. I don't need the rest of this, but I will need thermal paste. Put all this back in here. That's gonna go in the motherboard box, along with wherever this box is. It's gonna go in there too. I don't need that either. Literally just used one of these earlier today and also on Friday. These Arctic coolers are my go-to. They're amazing value. You just get so much radiator. Sorry if this is taking forever. My God, my bad, you guys. Alright, let's get that on there. Alright, let's bracket on the left then. Ooh, what you benchmarking? What are the details? I want all of them. Probably can't even tell me, but if you can, let me know. Where is my little paste? I'll turn on this case. Yeah, I knew it. I knew you couldn't say nothing. It was worth an ask. I'm just getting the paste out of the corners here. Well, Brock, you could always go anonymous and be one of those inside leakers on on Twitter. Okay. Hey, how you doing? What's up? I am not real. I'm doing good. This build's been a little complicated, but really only complicated to figure out, not to build. It's honestly the building processes of it, like physically, it's been a breeze. Just figuring it out because there's no manual. There's only like an online one, and yeah. Man, they're always going back and forth that the Moore's Law is dead and Moore's Law is not dead. It's one of those conundrums. Alright. Oh, or do you just mean the actual username Moore's Law is not, or Moore's Law is dead? Alright. Oh, well, it's not exactly easy. It's just, I mean, I guess it's like, you do it enough times, some things just come naturally to you, you know? Set that aside. Set that aside. Take out this stuff. Wait till you guys see how big this radiator is. Oh, I just hope it fits. Oh my god, look at that cooler, dude. It is beefy. Now, the plan is to hopefully make it fit. I mean, it's gonna be tight, but it's gonna fit. Look at that. Not the floppy disk. Woo. Look at that fitment, guys. I mean, I knew it was gonna fit, but like, I didn't know how tight it was gonna be. It's gonna be very tight. This tube is pressed right against this power supply. It takes a little bit of bending, and that's it. This is the biggest cooler I could fit in here. Look at how big it is. It's almost as big as the power supply and the motherboard. Oh, a beefy cooler. I'm excited for this. It's nice. Also, another reason to pick this power supply. This is a water cooler. Another reason to pick this God, why do I keep saying it? Water cooler for an ITX build. Look at this. What cable management? Where? Where are the cables? What are you talking about? I love this. Look at this. Daisy chain from the pump. The cable runs down the sleeving right here and to the pump. And then the fan's daisy chain right here to each other along here. I love this. This is... Oh, I love how well everything's coming together. Because after I watched this video, I was like, I don't want to deal with any of those extra cables and the RGB and all that. And, like, Thermaltake has stupid long cables. I mean, their wires will literally be like, I can't get my arms in the shot. Their wires are like 3 feet long. It's crazy. Hey, Egyptian, how you doing, man? Appreciate the follow, you guys. My boy wizard. Hey, first time chatter. Brock from AMD. Yes, it is Brock from AMD. Brock's cool. I like having Brock in here. Oh, Brock, I wish you were in here when Roman was playing Oprah, was giving out subs. I got one. Super appreciate that, by the way. You were forever gonna have that that first badge right there. All right, let's get a little bit more therm paste on there. Let's get this. I think it would probably be best to mount the cooler. Probably now, I'm thinking. Just because, like, it's going to be tight to get these panels on. Let me look at the video on what screws I'm supposed to use for this mounting right here. Alright. We're going to switch to the video real quick. we're not doing this orientation from the video. We're doing vertically mounted, so it's not going to be exactly the same as this video. But I just want to see what screws they're using for the mounting here. Okay, M3x5, but flat sunk. Alright, switch back to the main. Okay, so we're going to use these screws here to mount. We're going to put this on its side, and then we're going to install that screw. Get another one of these. Install this screw. Actually, we can still put an IO shield on here, so we're gonna do it. Let me take that off. I wasn't sure we were gonna be able to because it's weird. Look at this weird mounting. So normally this board would be up here, and GPU would mount here, right? But that's not what we're doing because we need a water cooler up top. If we shifted the motherboard up, installed the GPU normally, we would have a big space here for an air cooler, but we're going water cooler. So you have this weird gap. Honestly, I wish they gave you like a filler, like a plastic pop-in cover or something, because it just looks weird. Let me get the IO shield out. We're going to use that. Hopefully it still works. Your Wi-Fi antennas, they'll be in the box. I'm going to use some of mine off my shelf. Yeah, I was thinking 3D print. There's probably a 3D print online for it. But honestly, up to the owner. He's in chat. What he wants to do with the massive hole in this computer. Come on, rip. There we go. Okay. So we're going to put this in here. That's so weird looking. Look at that. It's so odd. Yeah, we can definitely 3D print something. It just depends on how soon you want to pick up your computer. If you're cool with waiting, I can print it out later, like tomorrow for you. I'll measure it out tonight. Maybe print it out tomorrow or something like that for you. We'll get that figured out. Oh, that's weird. Okay, it works. There's two screws that kind of are right up against each other. It's just it's a tight fit. Okay, let me show you guys what I'm struggling with here real quick. Oh, what look what I'm working with? Nothing. There we go. Okay. I need some light so you guys can really see it. Okay. So if you look right here, you see this corner? The corner of this is supposed to line up right here, but the screw is rubbing on this corner because we mounted the motherboard as low as possible. And it's like, you see that? What I'm gonna do real quick, I'm gonna take this off and I'm gonna sand that just a smidge, and then I'm gonna wipe it, clean it off, and put it back on there so we have perfect clearance. They cut the corner so that it wouldn't have this issue, but it's still rubbing more than I would like, and it's gonna throw the panels off just a tiny gap, and you're gonna notice it later. So I'm gonna take it back off. I'm gonna take that off. We put the screws down. Okay. Okay, alright. This corner right here needs a tiny bit of sanding. Just a smidge. Let's grab a pretty fine grit. It just needs a corner rubbed a little bit, basically. And it's also, that's an inner corner, so you won't actually see that ever. Right here, it's a B580. I'm going to try to hand sand, but I might need to Dremel it just to make it a little faster. I will make sure I clean up the whole area with isopropyl on a towel. Make sure there's no metal fibers on your computer. Okay, I've sanded this corner just a little bit. Let's get some isopropyl on a towel. Yeah, it was bad drivers, especially because, like, you especially know because not only did it have issues, but they later gained more performance out of the GPU after they updated the graphics drivers over time, which clearly means they were badly optimized. Look at that. Perfect fitment. I don't ship anywhere. I ship the whole continental US. So the whole 48 states that are connected, I don't do international shipping. International shipping in and out of the US is a pain. And I'd rather just not. Look at that fitment though. Perfect. It's perfect now. Most is local. A lot of my custom builds are all around the United States though. Like all the custom water cooling loops have been shipped. I'm actually gonna loosen that because I need the IO shield in there. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm really happy with this. It just took a tiny bit of sanding right there, and it fits perfectly now. Yeah, okay, I'm just gonna take it all the way off. I was just gonna try loosening it, but it just takes 2 seconds to take it off. I'm not gonna be lazy. There we go. Yes, it's very intimidating and difficult, but you can do it. As much as you think you might not be able to, you can make it happen. It's also expensive, just so damn expensive. Probably, yeah. Alright, those 3 screws are in. I'm looking forward to it. I am rooting for Intel GPUs because the more competition, it drives down price and drives innovation, and it just makes the companies fight for our dollar. I don't want to just be forced to give it to one person. I want them to fight for it. You know, give me the best product for my money. I also want to point out this just has to run across everything to plug in. This needs some routing, so we're gonna figure that out real quick. This needs a place to go. It can't just. I'm not gonna just plug this in right there and just be like, bam, done. This needs a place to go. So we're gonna figure that out. I'm thinking. Also, this wire is like weirdly rubbery. It's not like the normal power supply switch cables. It's very elastic. Quite odd. Not a bad thing, just different. I'm thinking to route it something like this. Ooh, I see a route. Maybe right here? Let me get the tweezers. Or not. Where'd they go? They're just over here a second. Oh, they're right here. I got them. I am kid magic at the moment. And by the way, we did test boot this outside of the case. So we didn't install Windows, but that's not necessary. Just test boot and BIOS update has been completed. Alright. The wire has been sufficiently stuffed in crevices. There we go. Let's give you a close-up of that. There we go. That's the routing we went with. From here, down, along here, around, and then in there, plugged in there. Nice and hidden. The new GPU? Are you able to say is that the base model and maybe this is 16 or 12 or that is 12, 16 or 18? Appreciate the compliment. Yeah, cable management's one of my specialties, if you will. I find very clever ways of hiding wires. I do my best to, at least. Let's get the we gotta get the power cable installed now, because once the water cooler's in, this is gonna be inaccessible. Okay, we gotta run that through there first. Ooh. I do plenty of pre-builds. I post them all on Marketplace, OfferUp, and yeah, you sell them locally. I have like 15 for sale right now, and like probably 10 to 20 more worth of parts on hand to do more. Like non-copyrighted music should be better today. Oh yeah, I hate it too, but it's just so popular here. It's just the most common way to sell in like here. Like I know in Australia they have Gumtree. Yeah, everyone lowballs, violently lowballs, like half of your asking price. I just leave the conversation if they are rude or they drop the like they ask for it like exceptionally low, like insultingly low. Because if you don't conversate enough, they can't review you. You have to have a full conversation with them, like 5 messages, I think, back and forth. By the way, I did not drop the computer. I plopped it on my lap for 1 second to get a zip tie in a weird spot. I'm trying to do pre-planning as much as possible because, again, once the water cooler's in here, it's going to block anything that's up here. Sorry, it's off camera a little bit. Again, I have to do this a little weird. Okay. I can't believe people just don't use zip ties. Nice. The Bulldozer CPU sucked, but I was always hoping they would release better stuff. And they did. Came out swinging with Ryzen. It woke Intel up. Intel was just lacking behind, man. I'm looking at this because I'm trying to see the layout here. Let's go ahead and put this other side panel on and get the bottom on there. Yeah, let's get this on there. Yeah, it's hard to drive traffic to the website. A lot of my traffic has been from people either Googling me from like my business card or sometimes direct links. If you post on social media, like do some pre-builds out of pocket and do some cool custom stuff. So instead of like paying for traditional advertising, it's better to just do a cool build and sell it on Marketplace or your website or whatever. And even if you have to sell it, hell, even at cost or something, then you could just count your labor cost as how much you paid for advertisement at that point. You know what I mean? Because my custom Fallout build drives gets me like so many customers. It would have gotten me more if people didn't steal my content. That happened once. Luckily, I used DMCA and I got it taken down, but someone stole my content. That can happen too. Watermark all your stuff, including videos. I had to learn that the hard way. I always watermark my photos, but now I have to watermark videos. People are content thieves. Why is there no screw holder? Oh, it's because I put it on upside down. Yep, that's my fault. I put the panel on upside down. I really appreciate that. Yeah, that build was a lot of work. No, I just used an app, to be honest. I used a phone app because I record my videos on my phone, but I'm sure there's desktop apps that you can use. And it's completely free. I just watch an ad. Wait, that wasn't upside down. That was right. Why are there no screw holes at the bottom? Oh, it rests in one side. And it goes in the other. Well, that was a waste of time taking this back off because I did it right the first time. Okay. So, for the bottom, it seems that's the top. Seems no, it was. I'm so confused right now. What? That depends on yourself. So that depends on how you create your content. If you want to create constant shorts about what you're doing build wise, like you want to rapid fire just random stuff build wise, TikTok. If you want to take it a bit slower, YouTube. And if you want long form, YouTube as well. Because with TikTok, you have to post a lot to keep consistent views. Because everyone has attention span of a squirrel on there. So, yeah. I'm still a little confused here. I'm gonna be honest with you. There's supposed to be holes on this side. This is meant to go the other way around. It has to. Because there's holes on one side. Everything over here lines up perfectly. Oh, I think I have to move this to this side and install this on the other side. Yeah, that's what I have to do. Okay, that makes more sense. So I have to move this bracket over here so I can flip it upside down. Okay. One second. There we go. Okay, so we took that off this side right here. We're going to flip it over and put it on this side over here. And then reinstall it. I don't know exactly what that does. But it's some sort of buffer for like the panels. And it has to be flipped over if you flip it over. That's just how this case works. Alright, I flipped this case upside down. So now I have to install it like this. Now I have holes on the bottom, which was what was needed. Full size screwdriver might be best for these bigger screws. There we go. And now we can put the bottom panel on. This is meant to go this way. Personally, I think I like posting on YouTube more. So I want to do more YouTube stuff just because it's a better platform in general. I just started the TikTok stuff because Morph was like, "Oh, you should post this stuff one day." I was like, "You know what? Yeah, you're right." So I did. But now, but that was also what I started way before you could even get paid for shorts. And I actually got enough views for payment before payment was a thing. Now that payment's a thing, I don't get that amount of views anymore. So that's fun. Can't use that one. Has to be this one. I'm looking at something right now because I'm thinking how to mount. Okay. Okay, it looks like I gotta move that wire. Okay, so right now we've got a dilemma here where two things. I need to move this bar to vertically right here between these two holes. Two, this wire is in the way of the graphics card. Now there's this mounting bracket here, and it looks like I can take this cover off here and then flip it to mount here and move the power button up here. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna remove the power button from here. I'm gonna put it up top, put the bracket here, and then yeah, we'll run the power cable in here down there. We'll run it along the power supply button, the power cable here. That's what we're gonna do. Yeah, same here, Roman. That's my same exact problem. My problem is finding time to edit and finding time to learn how to edit. I only know how to do basics when it comes to editing. It just takes me a long time to do editing, and I just don't have time for it. So I've been trying to find more time for it, to be honest. And all the time people are like, oh, I could, like, they offer the services to me, and I really appreciate it, but I don't want to, like, I don't know, I don't want to rely on someone to, like, offer me a free edit once, just to see how it goes, because, I don't know. Power button's up here now. Because I record with my phone all the time for videos, I edit on my phone. So, I don't know, I like it. It is a small screen though. But like at the same time, the majority of people who are like watching the content are going to be watching it on phones or some sort of mobile device. So that's why another good reason for editing on a mobile device is because I can see it the same way the viewers are most likely to see it. Especially since like a lot of people who are going to be looking at computers might not have a computer. So they're not going to be looking at it on a desktop. It'd be like expecting people who are looking for their first car to be watching videos on the car on, I don't know, like the screens inside of a minivan. They're not going to be watching it on there because they don't have a car. I don't know. It's a bad analogy, but you get what I mean. It's the same reason to take vertical photos for Marketplace. Everyone's going to be looking at it on their phone. Who are going to be buying a computer. If I was selling individual PC parts, then I'd be like, alright, maybe they already got their own computer and they just want to upgrade. So they are going to look at it horizontally. Alright, I have went ahead and ran the cable along the power supply wire, and I am cable managing that. Doesn't look good. This wiring is much better than anything I've seen with this case before. Dude, I feel like a brittle old man sometimes because like I cut so easily. I gotta go grab Band-Aid. I'll be right back, you guys. Can't be bleeding on people's. Alright, I'm back. I got the Band-Aid, I'm putting it on now. Okay. Let's go ahead and move this bracket here. This is the same hole spacing? It is. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead, remove this, remove this. Dude, that happens to me all the time. I'm so bad at noticing when I get injured. But like, I have to catch it when it comes to like building a PC because I don't want to get my blood on someone's computer. That's very unprofessional. Oh, that's upside down. But yeah, I have been injured by many computers. It's oftentimes the I/O shields. They're so sharp. Right here, this edge, very sharp. That's another reason I want to 3D print a bracket, but I don't know the exact sizing until I get this all installed. So that's going to mount like that. That means I got to, oh, actually I have to remove this entire black piece here. I thought I could just work around it, but no, this has to come out. There we go. Oh yeah, I/O shields. They're no joke. Alright, that piece is completely out now. This piece goes in its place. Okay, now we have an even bigger hole in the back. Alright. I told you, this case is very modular, so it's kind of like you just wing it as you go along. Alright, so that's how that's going to mount. Left or right, I don't know yet which way. Probably as far forward as I can get it to go, just because the riser cable is going to be behind it here. So we'll figure out the whole spacing and 3D print that tomorrow. I'll worry about building the PC tonight. So we're going to figure out the PCIe bracket now. But it's coming along good. Alright. Let's get a... I wish I knew what this was. Is this PCIe 4.0? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and remove the screws holding this together and find out what, if it says even what generation it is. Because it's fan text, I might be able to Google the model number on it, but I doubt it. Alright, there's nothing written on this side. What about the back? I mean, I could Google this. I'm sure it's some basic PCIe riser cable that they just slapped their logo on. Alright, let's Google this. Find out what generation this PCIe riser cable is. Okay. It looks like it's PCIe 3.0. This one, the Fantex one. That's not going to be enough, right? Let's see. It looks like I'm probably going to have to go with the PCIe 4.0. Yep, I'm going to go with the 4.0. This is going to be awkward to get in here. Yeah, this is just too long. This cable is just going to be too long. Hmm. Yeah, we're gonna mount the water cooler and then we'll see how the G meter mounting goes. That wire is a bit long. Let's put this back on here. All right. Put in the Fantex bracket back on this riser cable and go ahead with a different one. Okay. Yeah, that's custom. I went ahead and added a bunch of custom catches in there. I want to add some more parts, like PC parts and like tech related stuff. If you have any suggestions, you're always welcome to drop them. I'm always open to some more ideas for custom catches. Alright, I found out the Fantex one is PCI 3.0. The one I have in here is 4.0, but I don't know how fast this one is. I'm gonna Google the model number on it. S80P YG. Fuck off, Michael. How you doing? Oh, actually, this wire, or this riser cable, can I get the Amazon link, please? This one is 4.0, but it's weirdly shaped. It's meant for one of those wraparound motherboard ones, so this is not gonna work for this build. That sucks. Oh, you have to go with this cable? It's really weird. But let's install the water cooler. Yes, I did. You'll be paid for it, don't worry. We're going to get this installed. All right, there we go. That was a pain to get those on there. It will probably just barely fit. It's looking to be very tight fit. It's just this is so long and in the way. I don't know if it's gonna fit actually. I'm hoping. Okay, so the tubes come out at a very awkward angle here, pretty far. Okay, let's get this block on here and the wire installed. I'll do my best to figure it out. Okay, let's see if we can get this. I heard a noise. What was that notification? Oh, that's not a notification. That's just this song. It's weird. Okay, back to the street. Pull up OBS. Alright, let's peel that off. Now this is the part where things get really cramped in here. Getting the GPU and the water cooler in at the same time. This is where the struggle happens. Let's plug in the fan for the CPU cooler first, which is this one over here. Alright, let me manage this wire first. Okay. Alright, get that out of the way. Oh my god, that's tight. Look at that. I'm trying. Keeps falling in my face. I had to fix it. So that rests in there and goes like that. Means we have to mount this to here. These two are not screwed to each other. Oh, God. Getting the GPU in here is going to be a struggle. Oh, the little plastic, that little plastic, you know, the GPU thingy? It's really brittle. Just fell off. It's not going to hurt anything, though. Worry about mounting the water flow. Oh. This is not going great. That's for sure. Oh. Everything is not fine. Everything is so far from fine. It's not fitting. It just isn't fitting. I mean, let me see if I can fit it without the riser cable, which that would just mean I would have to get a different riser cable, which would be fine. So let me see if it just can fit at all. Because as is, it's not fitting. I need to see if I can get it to fit at all. Let alone, like, it, oh, because if it's just a riser cable, we can get a new one. We can get one overnighted, you know? We can get a new one. That's not the problem. Okay, those tubes are smashed up against this GPU. Things are looking a little bleak. Okay, so it's at an angle because the tubes are pushing it outward. But it's physically installed, but there's no cable plugging the GPU in at the moment. So we will definitely need a new riser cable. And it's got to be like a stubby one. These tubes just barely fit in there. That's the fitment. That's some crazy fitment. Yeah, so obviously not plugged in. The parts kind of fit. Yeah. That's where we're at. We're gonna need a new PCIe cable. Yeah, the riser cable. Just nowhere for all that extra cable to go. Let me see what would happen if I'm not gonna keep this one in here, but I'm gonna see what would happen if I plug that one into here. I also want to mount the water cooler to the case. Let me see how it mounts it. I think you just put screws through the top. No, okay. It has its own bracket. It does not mount to the top. Stay in there. This mounts it to this. I don't know, honestly. Kind of, but not really. We're probably gonna have to order. Probably have to order a new riser cable, to be honest. Where's the mounting hardware for the water cooler? I think it's in here. I will need the case mounting screws. It looks like that's as far forward as I can move it. So that's as far as it's gonna go. Okay. Oh my god, Michael. Okay. This is looking good. So the tubes on the water cooler, it's a struggle fit, okay? The top, not as much of a struggle. As I say that, I struggle to close it for some reason. What's not lining up here? What issue am I having? Oh, is it these screws? I think it's the AIO. Dude, I swear it's making my bandage fall off. I think it's the AIO mounting screws. I've got other mounting screws though. I've got flatter ones. Let me see if that helps. The head of the screw is bulkier. What's the flattest one there? There we go. Alright, I think that might have been the problem. Let's see if it mounts now. No. What? Oh, I can't. Oh, I have to move it over a little. Yeah, they said they'll add some Porsche stickers. It adds the horsepower. So it'll make up for the loss in horsepower from the RGB missing. Looks like I have to move this over. That's unfortunate. Oh. Alright. That screw, we'll just put 2 screws in now and see if the top panel lines up. If it does, we'll put in the rest. What the hell is going on now? What? There we go. Okay, we're still having this corner problem. Oh, we're not. No, we're not. Okay. That was the problem. It's cleared now. Oh. Okay. There we go. That's good. Let's go ahead and throw the other screws in there. I just want to make sure fitment was good before I install all of the screws. I'm swapping these out for the thing. I got my business cards from Overnight Prints. Yeah, you got it right, babe. You said you typed it right as I was saying it. Yeah, it was Overnight Prints. I literally just got it from Overnight Prints because they had like consistent coupon codes or whatever. So I got it at a good deal. I think it was something like $30 for 500. It was not very much. And also, contrary to their name, they do not they do not get to you overnight. I mean, I'm sure they have an overnight option, but I would imagine it'd be crazy expensive. Also, I read that as dog brain and not Dory brain. And I was like, what does that even mean? The other good thing about your sticker and your stickers and what's it called? Business cards is they'll be floating around out there. So over time, people just stumble upon them. You know what I mean? Missing one of the aero mounting screws, but honestly, 4 is enough. So all of the others are overkill. Still wanted to install it though, just for my own sanity. Okay, I don't know if you were in here or not at the time, but we're having fitment issues. Radiator does fit, tubes fit, but the back of the GPU and radiator clearance is an issue. So we've got to get another, what's it called? PCIe riser cable. A short one. Short little stubby one. These tubes hitting right up against the GPU makes it come out at a slant. Okay, this tiny little cut is not even bleeding. I'm just gonna take the band-aid off. It keeps almost falling off. There we go. All right. Set that aside. Try again getting that installed. Yeah, it's just too long. There's just nowhere to stuff it. So plan B is to overnight a really short extension. I need this flat bit here to be way shorter. So the cable needs to be short, and this needs to mount right here. So I'm gonna measure, find a much shorter one that I can overnight on Amazon. Talking really short. Let's unclip this, and we're gonna find out how short we need. It needs to mount right here. Okay, so it needs to mount lined up with this slit right here. That one right there. So I'm gonna measure from there to there, and I'm gonna go ahead and Amazon Prime ship one here. It'll be here tomorrow to replace it. What I will be able to do is let's grab that little bit of plastic there. Install Windows. I will be able to install Windows and stuff. The GPU just be out of the case while I install it, and then tomorrow all I have to do is put the new cable in and then smush everything together, and then it'll be done. So yeah. Also, a customer's in chat, and he did say he's okay with waiting till tomorrow to 3D print the whole cover on the back here, because this looks a little ridiculous. So when the GPU is mounted in here and we find its permanent home, what we'll do is we'll measure this out and we'll figure out how we want it to look. I'll probably give him a call, and we'll do either a grill or we'll do slats to match this. We'll see what we end up doing, but I'll 3D print a bracket to fill in the void. Otherwise, it's come out really nice. All this wiring here, that's hidden by the AIO. So once that's in there, that's snug. And then all those wires, nice and snugged up, nice and short, everything like that. It's coming along really nicely. I think I can actually just keep this, I can screw this in. Because I don't think I need, yeah, I don't need that out to put the GPU in. I could do a live stream tomorrow with the rest of the build. We'll see. I thought that was... Oh, this is where the long screws come in. Yeah, this is the long screws. They go in right here. Hey, appreciate it. Have a good night, man. Okay, so that's the top one. Here's the close-up shot of the inside. Honestly, everything's nice and tidy. So the tubes are gonna come over here. Did you guys? Let me show you guys. You guys need some reference real quick here. Before you head out, look at this real quick. Let's switch over to browser. This is how his was. This mess. That mess. Mine. Oh. Jesus, I'm pressing all the wrong buttons. There we go. I fixed it. Okay. Yeah, me neither, to be honest. But to be honest, I did learn from his mistakes, though. And I also moved a lot of stuff around. I moved the power button up here so the wires would be hidden up here. And then I moved the cover down here because it's modular. Put the biggest cooler I could. We didn't do RGB, but even if we did do RGB, I was going to hide the hub back here if needed. And I chose this cooler because the wires are hidden back here. I'm also going to zip tie that one. And yeah, honestly, overall, this came out great. I think what I'm gonna do is I might call it for a night here. We're all tired and hungry. Everyone is. Everyone's to end stream now. I want to end stream. Tomorrow I can resume this with the new cable. I'm gonna get on Amazon right now. I'm gonna order a much shorter cable. I'll probably install Windows without the graphics card, and then add it back in tomorrow. And then tomorrow I can measure and 3D print the bracket. We'll talk tomorrow about how you want this to look over here. But yeah, honestly, I appreciate everyone who's been in here. Roman, you're awesome. Appreciate the subs. First sub ever. No one can ever take that from you. That's awesome, man. Yeah, this was a fun, interesting build. I've never done a case like this one where it comes flat packed. And had to do all the modular, like, planning out and everything. I just thought, yeah, this was a fun build. Sure, difficult at times and finicky, but that's what makes it fun. Some thermal paste in here to clean off. Riley, can you not keep barking on my outro? I'd really appreciate it. Very rude. Alright, there's a little thermal paste on here and I want to wipe it off. There we go. But, yeah. And Roman, no, you're awesome. Have a good night, guys. I'm going to try to raid out to somebody if I can find someone here real quick. And if it'll let me. It's been letting me lately. But, oh. Well, I hope you guys enjoy who I raid out to. You guys have a great night. See you later.